2 days left in the Bassmaster Elite Series season and day 3, cut day, Saturday on the St. Lawrence in Lake Ontario. Such a prized fishery amongst the world, one of the best smallmouth fisheries that these anglers will ever fish. And we saw a lot of fireworks, especially early in the event, but day 3, still getting to ride with this man, Seth Fighter, somebody we've been with all season, Mike Sukon. A great year for Seth Fighter, Angler of the Year.
And he wrapped it up pretty much on day 2, got the award yesterday on stage with Dave Mercer.
Today was just a fun fishing day that was, hey, maybe I'm just gonna make the top 10 again and have 5 top 10s this season. That was his goal when he left the dock this morning, started the day in 8th place. But he's been fishing around takeoff, Such, a lot more pressured fish. The area doesn't have as many fish, and so we saw a tougher day 3 for Fighter. Gonna be close to that top 10, but either way, an entire season without missing a cut. Worst finish of the year will be 29th. This will go for a couple of his finishes just outside the top 10. What a great year.
He celebrated last night with his wife, flew into town, went to McDonald's. Tonight, I think they're going to do a little different type of party.
Yeah, maybe a steak, maybe some more spending going on there. And if he doesn't make the cut for Championship Sunday, another guy having a great end to his season, Caleb Sumrall, maybe 2 or 3 events ago was in the teens, maybe 20s of Angler of the Year.
Points, yeah.
And then jumped up inside the top 10 in points coming into day 3.
You get paid for making the top 10 in AOI this year, Ronnie.
What a great testing and proving ground for Caleb Sumrall, a Louisiana angler. Of course he's going to do well down south early in the year and throughout the season, but these last 2, Lake Champlain, the St. Lawrence River, to get a top 10 last week, to come here this week and use those tactics and techniques he doesn't use quite frequently, to be able to do them and almost contend for a top 10, a huge week for Caleb.
I agree it takes a couple years for some of these southern anglers to really learn the smallmouth game, right? He started with 22.2, a little slower yesterday. Day 3, a little bit slower, about the same.
It has not been easy. We're on the tail end of the spawn. These fish are at the lightest they will be all year, and yet these anglers are wheeling in 20-pound bags left and right, it seems, and a guy who started early, hey, he struggled with the northern swing a little bit too. Even the year he won 2 events, he said, I kind of went, started trying to win everything, and I did not do well up north.
Fell down up north. He had 2 21-pound bags this week, Ronnie, trying to follow it up here on day 3. Had a couple nice pass early.
He's been very consistent this week, like you mentioned, just ounces off of his weight each day. Today, though, that 17 to 18-pound range may sneak into that top 10.
While the other guys were running this morning, Ronnie, he actually took the lead for about 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so.
He is one who is fishing closer to takeoff. He's fishing actually northeast of takeoff towards Messina on the far boundaries, not 100 miles away, maybe 20 miles away, but the close boundaries.
Now here's a smallmouth hammer, the sleepy assassin, Austin Felix, our rookie of the year from last year.
He may be making the longest run of anyone in our field, going all the way out to Lake Ontario, and not just to the mouth, but miles and miles into the lake, and it has paid off for him. He is one we really expected to see do well on the northern swing, and a top 10 last week, probably a top 10 this week as well.
He's got some spots around the islands out there that he's been flying to, some nice weights, some 20-pound weights both days.
Hey, Z-Train.
Mullins.
And hey, Z-Train, some Tennessee anglers can catch smallmouth too. Hey, no one said they couldn't.
No, nobody ever said they could not.
But he's definitely proving it today. Started the day 3 in 6th place. Going to be around that mark with almost 20 pounds today as well.
Boy,
caught a couple big ones.
Almost hit 22 on day 2, Ronnie, and he has fought his way inside the Classic Cut, well inside the Classic Cut.
Yeah, 3 or 4 events ago, our 1st and 2nd place anglers in the 2020 Angler of the Year race, Clark Wendlandt and David Mullins, both in the 60s or 70s of points, and Mullins has stacked together a good stretch of events from Neely Henry to Gunnersville to Champlain to the St. Lawrence, and he has indeed gotten himself in that Classic Cut. The only fear today, dropping out of the top 10 could hurt him. He will not do that fishing on Championship Sunday.
He would have had to lose a lot of points, Ronnie. Clark Wendlandt, boy, like you said, he was near 70s. He's jumped up near 50 mark, but He's got to win to get into the Classic, Ronnie. The automatic berth from winning this event on the St. Lawrence.
That's the one thing this week. There are 3 anglers in our top 10 going into Championship Sunday who are win and in anglers. Everyone else, if they win, they will double qualify for the Classic because they're good on the points race. They will bump it down a spot. For 3 anglers, Justin Atkins, Bernie Schultz, and Clark Windlet, if they win, their season is changed forever, and they get to fish the 2022 Bassmaster Classic.
Boy, that would salvage a rough season if you're deep down in the points and you get that last event and win it and get to the Classic. Wow, you got to be feeling good.
We got to see Clark Windlet last year out in the lake, battling some big waves on the final day. He loves fishing out in Lake Ontario, has less experience in the river, so he said, hey, I'm going to make that long run. I'll go to the lake, and it's paying off a top 10 this week for him. Had a couple favorites coming into the event. The Johnston brothers for sure on that short list. This guy, second 2019, first in 2020. Left the dock this morning in second place. Really had a shot to do well today. And him and his brother Corey splitting up fish. They kind of know the same spots. They fish team tournaments together, so they have a lot of the same areas. Splitting up fish today, and he said, hey, Corey's got a great opportunity with some extra fish that he has found, so I may not pressure some of those areas. We've seen that as a result, not as big of a bag today, but we've seen it adversely with Corey, a big bag.
He let Corey take it. Corey with 23 pounds today, Ronnie. Catching a lot of big bass. He caught everything's over 4.2, a 5.0,
I would
4.12, and well, we don't know.
Yeah, we'll get to Corey in a minute, knowing Chris still has the possibility to win this event with his skill. Another guy he'll be grouped with in distance from the leader was our day 1 and day 2 leader, Bernie Schultz. Setting the world on fire day 1, 25.5, and then backing it up another 22 pounds yesterday on day 2 of this event. But for Bernie, it just seemed like he did indeed run out of fish.
Yeah, his spot, he might have caught all the big ones from there. He had a really frustrating morning, Ronnie. His 347th B.A.S.S event.
Wouldn't that be something to cap off an amazing career? Event number 347 to get win number 1 on the B.A.S.S trail. That's a lot of events. Anglers, hey, if you signed up for professional fishing and they said, hey, we're going to give you 347 events to make a career out of it, you would gladly take that the second most events for a B.A.S.S.
Oh, he's had a great
angler.
career, Ronnie. 66-year-old. He'd be the second oldest winner ever.
One of the best young stars in the game, Justin Atkins, comes in as a newcomer on the Elite Series, his first year on the Elites with a great reputation. He's a winner. He's won at so many different levels. He's won at the college level. He's won at the Opens level. He's won at the national professional level, the top level. And for him this week, he needed another one of those wins. It would be his first Elite win, and it would be a very important one, a tough season for
very tough season, Ryan.
Justin Atkins.
Unlikely that he was as low as he is in our Angler of the Year point, 68.
Definitely has been a struggle, like he said to Mark Zona on the phone. What has gone wrong did go wrong this year.
Murphy's Law.
And for Atkins to win this event, he would punch his ticket to the Bassmaster Classic, and it would be something he's dreamed of his whole life.
That's why he's here, getting the Classic.
He'll be in the top 2 going into Championship Sunday, neck and neck with this guy, Corey Johnston. You mentioned it, teed it up, so I'm going to let you take it, Such. A great day 3 for Corey Johnston.
He started with a 4.4. He had a 4.8, took the lead with a 5.0, 4.12, and a 4.2. He's around 23 pounds again. His brother had a birthday on Tuesday. Kind of gave it to Big Brother to let him have the big ones they had marked during practice and during the event. They were finding fish and marking them to come back and catch later. They're pets. They got them on the leash today and brought them in.
For Corey Johnston, he is one that would love an Elite Series title. You mentioned the other Canadians have done it. His brother, Gussie, they've all done it the last 2 seasons. Could it be Corey's time? He's primed up in a position. The wind and the waves will not scare him tomorrow. He is used to those fishing conditions on the Great Lakes. But man, it's going to be a neck-and-neck fight. You won't want to miss any of the action between the top 10 on the leaderboard. If they've made it, that means they've probably averaged 20 pounds a day to make the top 10. You can watch it all go down. The final day of the 2021 season, tomorrow at 8 a.m. on Bassmaster.com. Extended extra coverage, 4.5 hours on Fox Sports 1. We'll see you there.